The wife of a man killed while allegedly attacking police talks about her husband's final moments. Good evening, I'm Michael Oder. Sherry and Trent have the night off. Only WIAT 42 News reporter Jamie Ostroff spoke with the man's wife and with deputies to get both sides of the story.
This is a story we first brought you over the weekend. A man shot by deputies after both they and his wife say he was wielding a sword.
A driver's license is one of the few pictures Liz Kingren has left of her husband Darren. But it's the image of Darren being shot by a Cullman County sheriff deputy that will likely never fade.
And I just fell to the ground. And we laid there for 3.5 hours. And he laid there for hours. And it was pouring. I was trying to put him in the car. He's cold. He's cold.
It happened Saturday afternoon at the couple's Holly Pond home. Liz says her neighbor found Darren outside. He was on the ground and unresponsive.
I tried to get him up. I slapped him, you know. I was holding his arm up for the pulse and nothing.
The neighbor called 911, but before medics got there, Darren got up. He'd been drinking and he was upset.
He kind of pushed me and came in the house and barricaded it. He just started busting the windows. And then he cut the blinds up.
According to Liz and the sheriff's office, the crew called for backup.
And was being irate and out of control. And so the deputies went there to assist the medical personnel.
Liz said her husband was upset with the sheriff's office. She said his car had been stolen and he felt they weren't looking for it hard enough.
And the cop showed up. And that's when he went ballistic.
Deputies say Darren charged at them with a sword. Liz watched in horror as one deputy tased him.
He just like bounced back up like a jack in a box. And then he took the sword again, and then they shot him 4 times. And they didn't have to do that.
Not 4 times?
Not 4 times.
The entire ordeal was caught on camera. It's been just 2 months since the Cullman County Sheriff's Office outfitted its deputies with body cams. The video from Saturday is now in the hands of the Alabama Bureau of Investigation.
They can see what the officers see, what he was faced with.
And while there's often multiple sides to each story, both parties agree on this.
The officers only did what they had to do to protect themselves.
I'm sorry, you know, he had to do it. You know, I know he didn't want to do it. He begged. But he begged them to stop. But he had to do what had to be done.
Both sheriff's deputies are roughly 10-year veterans of the force, and neither of them had been involved in a shooting before. Now, both of them are on paid administrative leave and getting counseling. Meanwhile, Liz Kingren says she'd like to sit down with those deputies to say she's sorry. Jamie Ostroff, WIAT 42 News, coverage you can count on.